Howdy y'all. Well, time to time I get asked questions about getting into PCPs, and I probably have a video somewhere about it. I know I do have a big one, big series on big bore, getting into big bores, air guns, stuff like that. But just for the average person to get into PCPs, that's all we're talking about right now is PCPs. We're not talking about CO2s, pumpers, or all that other stuff. We're talking strictly PCP guns. What does it take to get started in it? Really, it takes two things: the gun and a compressor. If you want to, you can get the hand pump. I'm too old for a pump. I got, there's people that's handicapped. They can't do a pump, ain't happening. So, basically, you need to pick out what type of rifle you're going to use if you're going with rifles. And most people are rifles. Obviously, y'all see me shoot this one a lot, but this is custom made. I made it from scratch. So, I just finished a series of rebuilding it. So, Boyd stock, Timney trigger, Lothar Walther barrel. It's got a Ninja paintball regulator in it. This is a Monstrum Hornet scope on it. Thank you, Uncle Jim. And there's numerous other things you can get into now. Most people are going to go right off the bat and say, well, what about a Benjamin? Benjamins are good. There's nothing wrong with them. I have one here. Now this is the semi-automatic version, and I do not recommend it. But the regular version of it, yes, it's a good gun. I've got a problem with one of them. Has a magazine on it, so I forgot, it's probably a 10 round, maybe more. Yeah, 10 rounds on that one. This is 22. Another guns I like is the JTS. Now I own one. I know a lot of people that own one. Personally, I don't know them. And I've shot their guns. You can see some of their videos that I've used their guns to shoot with. There's been some issues with them lately with mainly on the Airguns Max. That's the regulated version. I'm assuming they've fixed some of their problems. I'm not for sure or not. But I love the standards. I like the unregulated ones better than to do the regulated ones to begin with. So these have a 10-shot rotary magazine too. Right now, what I would suggest, if I was to get into it, had to buy me another one, I would go to the Air Venturi Avenge X. That's probably one of the best starting ones there is, and I think they start about $500 or something like that. I'm not for sure. I know I have two personal friends that have them. They have both the one has a tactical version and one of them has a wood stock version of it. The wood stock version is the 25 caliber though, but it's still at 50 yards. It's less. It's a sub MOA, if not MOA. It's right there at it. That's one thing I would suggest right now. There's other guns if you want to spend the money. Obviously, there's the big FX guns. I don't really recommend them for new people because if anything goes wrong with them, they are a tough gun to rebuild. I forgot how many O-rings are in it, but there's a lot of O-rings in them. There's probably less than a dozen in here, maybe a dozen. Same thing on these, on the Benjamins, but the FX, just be known that it does have a lot of O-rings in it. You have the Day States, Brococks. I mean, you can go on and on about, you know, getting on up into the higher end guns, and we're talking about $1,500 guns or more. You know, I always suggest somewhere for a beginner to come into something in the $500 range. You know, you need the gun. Okay. The next thing you need is some type of compressor. I have a GX compressor. Is what I have. This is a little bit bigger compressor. You can get little smaller portable ones that just fill guns. Technically, that's kind of what that one is for, but a little more heavier duty. But it will fill these 2 tanks here. But you got to do it in steps. So, you know, let it run a little while, turn it off, let it cool down, run it some more. You can always just get a tank if you wanted to. This is the tank I started out with. They're run $300 or so, I think, is what they're running now. Sometimes you can catch them on sale. This is my other tank. This is an old firefighter tank. You got to be careful on these things because there is an expiration dates on them. So if you're going to get them filled, they can't be out of date. But you can tell to like a paintball field, and they can fill those kind of things for you. They usually charge for you though quite a bit to get one filled up. But for, you know, like $100, you can get a small portable fill the gun only type gun or compressor. So that's what I would suggest you do. I mean, like I say, you can get a compressor. They make them for under $100 now, but I wouldn't recommend any of those. You know, get you a good quality one, GX. Mine went blank there, but if you go to Pyramid Air, that's one of the main places I recommend is Pyramid Air. I bought from Utah Airguns too, and a few other places, but I always tend to migrate back to Pyramid Air. They seem to take care of your customers a little bit better. You can get a filter. Now obviously we got a big filter here. They make a little smaller ones, you know. If you want to try to make sure you keep the moisture out of the systems. That has a built-in water oil separator on it, but I also run that filter just to make sure. I haven't had this gun apart in several years, and when I took it apart last week, the inside of that tank was spotless. So need those, and you need quality pellets. You know, these guys that I'm talking about that are asking this is mainly, you know, powder burner shooters, and you know, quality ammo shoots good. Quality pellets shoot good. So JSB is one of the top ones. JTS, which they just recently been coming out with a lot of pellets. I've had some good luck with those. They running right up there with the JSBs. There's a couple other brands out there now that are really good quality, and you know, stay away from the Gammo and the Daisies, and you know, stay away from that stuff. It's just junk. But decent PCP rifle, a good compressor, and some good pellets. That's all you need to get started. So, I mean, I don't know what else I can say right now. So, you know, if you got more questions you want me to answer, you know, just put it in the comments, I guess. So, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everybody.